What's up, sneaker family? In this video, I'm going to show you how to repair the patent leather on a pair of Air Jordan Gamma 11s. In this tutorial, you'll learn how to use patent leather clear sealer along with patent leather black ultra sealer. And just in case you don't have an airbrush, I'll show you how to use patent leather wipe on sealer and explain how to use a patent leather hand painting kit. And as usual, please stay tuned to the end to see some more bonus sneaker restoration tips, tricks, and hacks footage. I'd like to thank you for watching. My name is Footprinse. Now let's get into this tutorial. Okay, so we also got a pair of Gamma 11. We're going to be going through the same process. You're just going to get your block, and then you're going to sand and take off that top coat. Some are more severe than others, so if you go check out my videos on YouTube, sometimes taking off the top coat, we got to go through a bit of a process that's different from this. Some are easier than others, but so far we've done the Concords, we've done the Win Like 96 Gym Reds, we've done the Cool Gray 11s, and we've done the Win Like 82 Blues, I believe. Could be Win Like, yeah, it's Win Like 82 Blues. And we've done the Bred, so now we're gonna do the Gamma 11s. There. Seal that down. Just some tips right here for when you're putting your cloth over your mesh. I put a fold in mine right here to double down on the protection so that when I'm spraying, the paint doesn't leak under there. And as before, like I said, you just go around the lace holders, and I'm putting the cushion needles in, not down towards the air bubble, but on an angle away from it. And then you just keep pinning it down, just like so, all the way, just like that. And then you'll be ready to spray. You could check your airbrush and make sure that the nozzle is clear. It's very important when you're spraying this. Focus. That's what you want. You want to be able to see straight through that nozzle. So you want to make sure you get the right cup. We're about to spray some clear sealer. So you want to get your cup, and you want to make sure that it's the cup with the opening on the side. You can see here. You see that? Trying to get close. Not the one, you can see it right there. Here's an opening that's behind the pipe here. You don't want to get the one with the pipe that's all the way down to the bottom, because it's not gonna let the paint and all that go through the pipe right here properly. You want the open outlet right here. This is the stainless steel cup that you want, not the other one with the pipe going all the way to the bottom. This is it right here. Now, about the airbrush, because we get a lot of complaints about clogging. One thing, when you're spraying the patent leather paint, you want to have your needle pulled back at least 1.5 inches to 2 inches. And you just do that by adjusting your needle lock here, and you'll be able to pull your needle back and forth here. Okay, you'll see it come out through the front and adjust it. Just like so. Okay, then we'll do a spray. I'll do a test spray. Adjust my needle. 1.5 inches to 2 inches. And we're definitely good to go. Okay. So I'm gonna start from one of the lines, sometime either here or here. That's what I like to do. Sometimes it doesn't happen, but right here, we're starting from that line, and we're gonna go all the way around, avoiding the stitches and avoiding hitting the mesh. passes in one area. Now, if you see something pop up like over here, some paint came out on the nozzle here, and it's a little chip right here. All you want to do is get one of your needles. Okay, let me get one from the top right here. And I'm gonna see that little chip, just poke that and pick that up like that. They wouldn't have liked that. You can stop that from happening and keep yourself a clear nozzle just by keeping a brush in your liquid, your solution, and brushing out your air cap just like this. Just like that. Got a clear cap and you won't get those debris. We put the paint on it, and then we're gonna start smoothing the paint out. You can see it got some rough edges right there, so you got to get that stuff smooth, because when you put your patent sealer up there, you don't want that showing up right there. You want it to be completely smooth, and you want it to look 100% natural. Okay, so this is the kind of stuff that can happen right here. If you look along the seams and the edges, you can see where it's not connected, like to the midsole. You see that? So that's what can happen when you put on the paint, when it's really thick and it gets connected to the tape, and then you got to cut it off. You end up with like really bad edges like this, and you got to get in here and fix that. So this is one of the issues you can be dealing with when you're repairing patent leather. Just be prepared for this right here. If you would like to learn more about this and how to repair more uncommon sneaker defects with precision, grab a Footprinse exclusive content membership on YouTube. Find out which tools are needed for any flaw or type of sneaker restoration. Ebooks and video tutorials available for Reglues, Suede and Nubuck repair, patent leather repair, sewing, and more. Get started now with Footprinse free ebook, Sneaker Restoration Illustrated. All tools and supplies used in these videos will be in the description or in the comments. And now, let's get back to the original tutorial. And this is what we looking like so far. We had that filled in, and then we just painted right over it. We had all those, like, it was like slits along the seams and in the front of the toe box here. So we just painted over it, and then we're gonna sand and seal. See that there? In this portion of the video, we're preparing the sneaker for clear sealer. Let your paint, or the patent leather paint, dry for at least 24 hours before you start to sand. You want to do small circular motions. All right. So now we're going to start to apply the clear sealer, and I'm spraying from overhead away from the stitches, and we're avoiding creating ripples. But we want this to go on thick. This is a little different from the black. This one has to go on thick to get that shine. So you have to go over it once and then twice maybe again. Go over it with a thin coat and make sure everything fills in. And avoiding ripples. Like if I see anything turning like translucent gray here, I'm gonna go right back over that, and I'm gonna make sure it's full. All the meanwhile trying to avoid the ripples. The black is a little different, like you're gonna get that shine regardless, and it's sprayed on lighter. So now we right back to it. I'm filling this in. Remember I said that because this is the clear sealer. It has to go on a little thicker. So it takes a little more effort, and you got to avoid the stitches as well. So that's why we're spraying from overhead. If this was the black, it would have been like, I would have sprayed it on 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But This one is a little different, so we gotta work. You gotta work for that shine on this one. Gotta fill it in. Make sure the areas that are translucent, you're filling those in. Going back, because you don't want one part to be more shiny than the other. I'm applying pressure with the trigger, medium with my finger, low. I don't want to put too much pressure because I don't want to create ripples. Okay. So right here. Now, what I did from here, I backed up a little bit, and I'm just lightly going over like little areas. Okay. Avoiding any ripples. Like I said, you don't want to put ripples in this sealer, because if you put a ripple in it and it dries, it's gonna look wavy once it heals up. But right now we got it pretty good, and now we're just gonna allow that to dry, and we'll come back with the results. All right, and here we are with the results. This has been drying for like probably 3 hours, 3 or 4 hours. We got the results. Trying to find a spot here. There we go, totally flexible. I'm probably gonna end up doing this over. It has like a little cruddy spots on me that I'm not too happy with, but the shine is definitely there. This is from the clear sealer. So just showing you the before and afters and the flexibility of it. It works, but I'm probably gonna do these over, and I'm gonna layer on the clear sealer a little thicker, and sand this down and get it a little smoother than it is. Here's an alternative solution to apply patent leather sealer without an airbrush to Air Jordan 11s. All right, in this video, I wanted to talk about the wipe-on sealer and the pros and cons of using the sealer. One difference is the wipe-on sealer is lighter than the spray, the patent leather spray sealer. So to begin right here, we're going to put in 1 tablespoon of wipe-on patent leather sealer and let our sponge absorb this. Okay, so we got that absorbed. Now, to the control. You got way more control when you're applicating or putting on the sealer to the patent with the streak-free sponge. Like, for example, here, we'll go to the other side. You see I'll start at this line right here. You can see there's no tape right here. Now, even though this is not taped, I can still use that sponge and I can get right along the line. And I'm causing little to no mess on the midsole of the sneaker, as you can see right there. So you got like total control. So less mess, like especially if this was like a pair of Concords and this was the white mesh uppers, I wouldn't even touch it. Just keep in mind that the patent leather wipe-on sealer is lighter than the patent leather airbrush sealer. So you might need more than one application depending on the severity of the damage. There, we got really close. See, we're going around here. We go up top. I'm not putting a lot of pressure. You don't want to cause drip. Pay attention to your edges. You can see how I can get right along the edge. Got total control. Cleanup is really easy. So I'm not worried about, even if I do hit the midsole, you can clean it up really easy. I'm just putting that on. And we make sure everything is lined up and I didn't miss any spots. It's looking really good. That's what we want to see. Okay. Taking that off. And this was pre-cut, by the way. I made sure that I trimmed the lines before I did this. So I don't want to rip nothing. Unwrapping the gift here. Okay, after you finish, just in case you get any patent leather sealer or paint on your midsoles, all you'll need is some WD-40 and a piece of blue scratch resistant Brillo. Do not use green Brillo. Just use my WD-40 I'm trying to get the area smooth. I could say I'm using a WD-40 as like oil, I would say. So when I'm scrubbing with the Brillo pad, or I got a piece of sandpaper here, to really get into the edge right here, like so. Like so. I don't damage the material. You know? That's why I'm putting the WD-40 up there. Okay. So I would use the sandpaper or the Brillo pad. Then I would get my microfiber cloth and I put like a little something hard in there. So when I go to scrub, it acts as like a squeegee somewhat. I can really press into the midsole to get the stain out. Okay, or I can scoop with the interior, you know what I'm saying? Obviously with the microfiber cloth on there so I don't damage it, but I can scoop things out or I can press, however it goes. Okay, so that's how I would get that off. WD-40, scratch resistant Brillo, and some sandpaper. This is, I believe it's 80 grit and I have 150 grit. And a microfiber cloth and some sort of like cap or something hard. Let's see if they flex. Flexible. Flexible. Please listen to this section to gain a little more insight about patent leather wipe-on sealer and patent leather airbrush sealer, and also learn a couple of do's and don'ts. And please stay tuned to the end for some more sneaker restoration bonus footage. Now, with the wipe-on sealer, let's talk about turnaround times. If you got to do more than one coat, then you're going to have to wait between 12 and 24 hours between each coat with the patent leather wipe-on sealer versus the airbrush, which would be one coat. The sealer, the spray sealer, is much thicker than the wipe-on sealer, so I'll be looking good. And then you're done. So just keep that in mind. If you have to do more than one coat or you have a lot of damage and you go with the wipe-on sealer option, you may have a longer turnaround time. So keep that in mind. Now you can see when we were wiping on the patent leather wipe-on sealer from before, we had control. Versus these were sprayed with the patent leather sealer, which is thicker, by the way. You cannot spray the wipe-on sealer. If you spray, or if you try to spray the wipe-on sealer onto the patent, it'll cause drip and it's not going to look smooth. But anyway, back to the control. As you can see, if while we're spraying or when we spray, we don't have any control for what happens with the overspray on the edges. like right here between the tape right here. You can see what happens. You'll be susceptible, when I say that word, to overspray on the midsole right here. Like this stuff could happen when you're spraying with the airbrush. But like I said, it is easy to get off. It's not really a big deal. So, and also the uppers. This is why we have the uppers pinned down with the blue shop cloth to prevent the spray from getting onto the white uppers. So overall, preferably, I like to do the patent leather wipe-on sealer for the Concords to avoid getting stains on the white midsole and on the white mesh uppers. So I prefer that. But like I said, you may have to do more than one coat with the wipe-on sealer to get the job done versus the spray. This is we sprayed one time around and we're done. Now, what can happen with the spray? Sometimes you'll get clogs or stuck triggers when you're spraying with your airbrush gun, or you might have a spill where you spill the liquid, which what happened to me, and I had the stuck trigger in the clog. So when I came around to the end here, I didn't finish this side. So now I have to let that dry, because you can't keep spraying, because air is the enemy when you're spraying the patent leather sealer black. The air will cause like dots and bubbles in the finish. So it has to be like continuous, like you're spraying, and as soon as you start going, it's like one non-stop thing. You're trying to finish it and go all the way. So right here, I couldn't finish. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the patent leather wipe-on sealer, since we're in a one area right here. We're only in one spot, and I'm gonna go from this line to this line with the wipe-on sealer and finish the job over here. I may have to do more than one coat, like I said, to match the thickness and the shine that the spray got onto these. All right, so right here, I'm gonna show you what to do just in case you get overspray while you're spraying for your patent leather. What you want to do right here, if you get this like paint overspray, don't run to chemicals. Just get yourself a glue eraser and go in here. You can do it by hand, or you can get yourself some needle nose pliers to do this part and get that right off. You're just using friction. A lot of people, they run to like acetone or something like that. And you can use a wooden stick too. They run the acetone and then rip off the paint. So it's not a good move. Just be patient. Let the paint dry and then scrape it off. Really easy. Just like that. Now, another thing, when I'm working with the Concords, since they have the white mesh and the white midsole, I prefer using a roller and using the patent leather hand painting kit combined with the patent leather wipe on sealer, because I got more control and I can avoid hitting this white mesh. So that's what I would prefer, like when I'm doing the Concords, just to avoid the white mesh and avoid damage. This roller fits in here like a glove, so there's almost little to no risk of me hitting the uppers, and I save on tape up time. Like I don't have to go through the whole pinning the shop cloth down to the white mesh uppers. I just put it in here like this, and I can pick the sneaker up just like that, or however I'm going to be doing it. I just keep the cloth like that, pick it up, and I paint and I roll like this, and I keep it moving. So if you want to see the patent leather paint kit in use and you want to see a whole tutorial and the process, just go check out that video on YouTube. Okay, so patent leather paint and patent leather sealers, black and clear, are available. The paints come in 5 colors. You got Gem Red, Windlight 96, Legend Blue White, Cool Gray 11s, Windlight 82 Blue, and Classic Black. If you want to learn more about how to like repair patent leather, how to spray, airbrush tips, all that kind of stuff, you check out my ebooks and videos. It'll probably be in the comments or in the description. Thanks for watching. In this video, I will show you how to apply patent leather sealer and how not to apply patent leather. We did it perfect. And you can see it does have flex. It's no cracking and whatnot. And you got your patent seal. This is the clear seal. It's the clear patent sealer. We got the flex down, okay? And now we're almost ready to start. We're almost ready to start applying sealer. But before that, we gotta sand the surface down. So I'm just gonna use a piece of. In this video, we're gonna be doing a patent leather repair on a pair of cool gray 11s. You can see we have some discoloration up here. We got the patent leather chipping, creasing. So let's get started. So your patent should end up, you know, very dull. Should look like that, even and dull all the way around. Over there. And we're gonna apply to all those gaps. What's up, sneaker family? In this video, we'll be repairing a pair of patent leather Air Jordan 11 Concords using the patent leather hand painting kit. My name is Footprinse. Now let's begin this tutorial. All tools and supplies used in this video will be in the comments or in the description. Up, we got a pair of Concord 11s. We'll be repairing this patent leather. Here it's done, so we're gonna be taking that off and we're gonna be filling, repainting, then reglossing, and then these should be back to new. So all I did so far in some areas was I used leather filler, and then in the other heavier areas we used the patent leather legend blue white, and we just filled in all the areas with that paint, and then we sanded it down. The reason why I hand paint